Well, hello there. Welcome back to the friends, the families, the lovers, the supporters, the haters. Everybody that rock with me, I rock with you. Welcome back. You are now tapping in, you are listening, you are watching, you are witnessing the Sober and Unbothered podcast. We're back at it, man. We're back at it, and we still going. We going strong. And I'm glad you're here again. I'm glad you're tapping in. Because this is going to be another conversation. This is going to be another great episode. This is going to be another great talk and some great wisdom. Because I kind of like speaking to the people, to the community. And in the moment, it feels like I'm talking to myself. But I know you watching behind the screen, you rock with it. You know what I'm saying? You will be watching this for no reason. So I appreciate you being here. Today I'm going to talk about social drinking and signs that show you and tell you that you're not just a social drinker. Because going in the sobriety journey and becoming open-minded or clear or opening my eyes, I've came to realize that the things that I would say to justify my drinking habits weren't really true. I would say things and do things because I would try to run away from the fact that I had a problem and I didn't want to deal with it. I would just say, I can stop whenever I want. I'm a social drinker. I can stop when I can stop if I want to. I don't gotta drink today. I don't gotta drink this weekend. And it would always be like that, man. I would try to justify my bad habits with just saying that, it's something minor. No, I'm cool. But most times when you have to justify, you're just kind of sugarcoating and ignoring the fact that you do have a problem. You're ignoring what you don't want to address. And most of the times, it's the things that you have to address. And I know it's scary to be able to look into the mirror and try to understand and unpack that and take everything down. But it's things that have to happen. It's things that you got to do. And one of the things that I would always do that I didn't know at the time is if you drink alone. I used to drink alone a lot. I drink alone most of the time. Like, all the times that I was drinking, I was probably drinking by myself. And when you drink by yourself, that's when you feel mostly relaxed, mostly at peace, most of the times you can feel like you can be yourself. And when you're drinking alone, that's probably the biggest red flag and sign that anybody can really kind of come to terms with and notice. Because if you're not drinking, people that drink socially do just that. They drink at functions with family, at little parties, and then that's it. They don't go home and drink an extra 2 bottles of wine, an extra 6-pack, 12-pack, don't matter. Because if you're drinking alone, then that's a sign that you should probably reevaluate your drinking habits. Also, I said this before, and if you say you're gonna drink just one, it's never just one. And I think that's one of the ultimate tests. If you just say you're gonna have just one, and it's never just one. Because I was the type that if I drink one, I'm never gonna stop. And I said this before in a previous episode that if you say you're gonna have just one, you never just have one. And that's one of the biggest signs as well too, because if you drink and can't stop, then you're an alcoholic. I mean, it's a hard and sad realization to come to, but it's something that needs to be addressed. It's scary to admit that about yourself, and it's scary to really just come to terms with that and accept that. Acceptance is a big part of sobriety. Because once you accept anything in life, anything that you're dealing with, it doesn't have to be just addiction. Once you come to terms with just accepting things the way they are, it gets a lot easier. It gets a whole lot better. Because when you're ignoring it and pushing it away, you're just making it harder, and you're making the burden on yourself a whole lot bigger, and it's harder to carry. But once you accept it and look it in the eyes and take it for what it is, it's easier to navigate through that. It's easier to move past it. It's easier to deal with it. So come to terms with the things that you're running away from. Accept the things that you don't want to face. Because that's the number one and best step in order to get better, in order to see change, in order to be able to become the version of yourself that you've been dying to want to become. Another one is if you're feeling uneasy when there's no alcohol around. And that was a big thing for me too. And that was one sign that I didn't even realize that I was dealing with or battling with, because back in my early days of drinking, back in my first round of college, I used to drink a lot with my friends back then. And there was times where it'd be on the weekends and, class is over, school's done. And there was times where some of the homies didn't want to drink. And they told me like, oh yeah, I'm not drinking today. I'm not drinking today. And I would get sad. I would get depressed. I would get uneasy. I'm like, damn, bro, we're not drinking today? Fuck, bro. Like, and at the time, I wasn't of age. So I was like, damn, bro, if y'all not drinking, y'all not gonna buy me nothing? Like, damn, bro, I'm trying to drink. Why ain't you trying to drink, bro? I'm trying to drink, bro. And most of the times, bro, if you're feeling uneasy and you're feeling sad or depressed that you're not drinking and there's no alcohol around, yeah, that's a big sign. That's one of the biggest tells that anybody should be able to notice, and I should notice. At the time, I didn't notice it, but if you're feeling like you need alcohol around in order to have a good time, if you get excited that, oh yeah, dude, I'm blacking out tonight, it's like, yeah, man, you got an issue. And I've been there, bro. Being depressed and being sad when there's no alcohol around and no one's drinking, and you feel like you can't be. You feel like you can't have fun. You feel like you can't have a good time. And that's a big tell. That's a big sign. Being sad and depressed and uneasy if alcohol is not around. And I've been there. I've done that. And there's another time too back. My family does family reunions once every 2 years. And my family drinks. I come from a big binge drinking family, and I'm African, yo. Africans, as you can tell by the flag in the back, I'm African, and Africans drink. And at these family reunions, you know, all the young adults, all the teens and stuff like that, we'd be, you know, all the aunts and uncles would come to our B&B and party because they knew that's how we get down. And there was sometimes at the family reunions where they were like, oh yeah, like I don't feel like drinking tonight. And I'd be like, damn, bro, come on, man, it's vacation, bro. I never see you, bro. I only see you like once every 2 years. Why are we drinking? Let's drink. I mean, but I never pushed it, but inside, that's what I was feeling. Because like when other people didn't want to drink and I felt like I was the only one that wanted to drink, that's when I was like, damn, bro, nobody wants to drink, bro. Why not? And I think that's one of the biggest signs, bro. Like if you're feeling depressed and uneasy that no one wants to drink and you're the only one that wants to drink, yeah, man, dig deep into that feeling, because there's more to that you need to be able to understand, that you need to unmask, that you need to address. Because that's not normal to be depressed and uneasy and sad if there's no alcohol around, if you're not drinking the night that you said you wanted to drink. If no one else wants to drink and you're the only one there that wants to drink, you need to unpack that, because there's more to that you need to address. Another thing, and I've said this before, when you reach for a drink in order to feel confidence, in order to feel like a better version of yourself, and I've been saying this and I'm gonna keep preaching it, people love the version of you that doesn't drink. People love the version of you that's sober. And if you don't want to see that, and you don't want to accept that, and you don't want to be able to address that, yo, you need to be able to stand up, put your chest out, and become that person, because people around you love that version of yourself. So why can't you? You don't need alcohol to have confidence. You don't need alcohol to stand up and stand tall and become like the best version of yourself. Because people out there love you for the person that you are, for the sober person that you are, the real authentic self that you are. People love that. You don't need to reach for the bottle in order to be them, him, her. You don't got to do that. You are fine just the way you are. You don't need the bottle. There's no friends at the bottom of the bottle. There's no love at the bottom of the bottle. There's no real connection at the bottom of the bottle. The real connection is yourself, your real and authentic self. And people love that. So keep doing it. And lastly, you can't remember who you were before alcohol became a part of your life. And that's a big thing. In addiction, you get lost. You don't know who you are. You don't know who you're becoming. You look into the mirror and you're unrecognizable. You don't know who you're becoming. You don't know what you used to do. You don't know what you used to like. You don't know who you were before. You lost yourself. And that's what addiction does. That's what alcohol does. It turns you into a person that you didn't think that you'd become, that you don't even know who you became. You lose yourself. You get lost in the sauce, lost in the bottle. And if you don't know who you were before the drinking came, before the addiction came, yo, it's time to get changed, because you're better than that. Don't lose yourself, because there's people out there that love you for who you are, for your authentic self. Keep becoming that person and keep changing and keep growing and keep healing. Because if you don't love that authentic self, people are going to see right past that bullshit and not accept you and love you for who you are. Because they already do. They can't make you love yourself. They can't make you become the best version of yourself. You gotta become the best version of yourself. And there's people out there that want that for you, that loves you for that person. So become that person. It's T here. I'm sorry this is a short one, but hey, short and sweet. Sometimes that's how it's got to be. You feel me? But thank you for tapping in. This is the Sober and Unbothered podcast. I'll see y'all next week, man. Stay blessed.